All right, welcome back to another special episode of the Club Lights podcast. My name is Giannis. I'm here with Dan once again.
Hey guys.
Uh, we wanted to pick back up where we left off. This is our part two of the ARC lineup release, which is kind of spun into a couple of different things, but one of them obviously being the addition of day four and what are they going to do with the tickets. We now know what happened, but let's recap and get build this back up to where we were. So we had talked last time about just some of the online feedback around anyone who had purchased a 3 day pass in advance, and now this fourth day they weren't going to throw it in and said something about a discount. But let's pick up from there and kind of get us caught up to this point. So Dan, I'll turn it over to you to talk about kind of what were the people saying about this.
Yeah, golly, what a wild week we've had as loyal ARC fans. It's crazy. They announced the lineup on March 10th. Everyone was super excited. The anticipation building into who's going to be there, what's the plan. I know I've been looking forward to this since you know we left ARC last time. We pre-purchased those tickets, and then it's just like, when is that lineup going to come out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, there's a lot of
A
anticipation. There's
lot of
excitement
anticipation.
leading up to that. Who are we going to see?
Yeah, yeah. Again, in ARC we trust, right? And so I think that all of us that were looking forward to that. March 10th came, and the lineup drops, and we see that there's an additional day, right? And that's exciting. But then the confusion set in, the chaos of the
Right.
week, and it really kind of kicked off with them asking or offering a discount to people who had already purchased their 3 day passes, and
Allegedly, right? An alleged
alleged
discount.
an alleged exactly, and it just felt like a slap in the face, and that's where what really kind of sparked us kind of jumping in and saying, hey, we got to talk about this because
Right.
on social, on Reddit specifically, um, hundreds of posts, thousands of comments, thousands of upvotes, uh, people just not feeling great about what was going on, right? And I think this guy here, CJ Productions, yeah, I mean, he kind of encapsulated it pretty good, right? No way they randomly announced a fourth day after many of us had bought in advance the 3 day pre-sale tickets, right? That's it, right? That's the core of why we were upset. How can a company like this, with such, you know, people who have attended for years probably,
Right.
do this to us? So, again, hundreds of posts, thousands of comments, and people were just not feeling great about what was going on. I know I didn't.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I was looking too, mostly on Instagram, and I was looking at the comments there too, and seeing, a couple of people talking about it. This is a mess. Monday passes better be a true discount. Please don't try and charge me another $150. Um, someone else saying, well, lesson learned, don't buy pre-sale for ARC because they'll add a day and not honor those that who purchased pre-sale passes. Again, right? Really hits it. You mentioned slap in the face. There was one that I saw here. Uh, let's see. It was essentially saying that same thing. A lot of people were mentioning cash grabs, right? This person says the fact y'all announced this afterwards is at an additional cost is bogus. Like, all really good points. This person, if we bought loyalty pre-sale, are we good for 4 days? We bought in September, meaning a year in advance. That's a slap to our face. So right, that's what was being talked about. So we get to when and you mentioned this, you helped me with this last time, that the tickets for 4 day and I think the single day for that fourth day were going to be going on sale Friday, right? So you mentioned when it was released. Several days go by. No one has this, again, alleged discount. No one's gotten a code. No one knows how much it is. All the while, all these comments continue just building up and building up and building up.
yeah, it was very
Again,
negative.
even
Yeah,
in the meantime of from the time they dropped it to now, we dropped part one of this podcast, right? Of this
yeah,
coverage of the lineup drop, right? So now that's out there. We're talking about it. We're getting
Yeah.
people viewing the podcast. We're getting people talking about that. So now we get to Friday noon central when the passes open up, and the pre-sale folks still have not heard anything. Still no word of a discount. I mean, how are you feeling at that moment? I think you text me to be like, hey, have you heard anything?
Yeah. Again, so unfortunate that what should have been, exciting and, people should have been talking about the lineup and all of that was just overshadowed
Yes.
by this like marketing misstep. That's what it was.
Right.
It was a complete marketing misstep. And so, yeah, we get a message from ARC that says they're going to be holding back some tickets so that all of us pre-sale people who purchase wouldn't have to worry about the chaos of, because as everyone knows, and I'm sure this is across the board for like most music genres, but especially in EDM, like ticket sale day is chaos, right?
It
And so
is.
it doesn't matter. I mean, especially in EDM, I mean, you got to be on there. You got to be ready to go to buy your tickets just to make sure that you get in. And ARC does this tiered
Yeah, you
system.
want to get into good tier. I
You
think
got to
most
get in
festivals work
early.
that way, but yeah,
Yeah.
it,
And
it
so,
impacts your price.
yeah. So, I mean, just imagine all these, everyone's, anticipating, especially for us, we've already been kind of disenfranchised by the whole situation.
Right.
We're waiting for that message, waiting for an email or something. I'm checking my spam box. I'm
Yeah,
texting you.
everyone just, yeah, when are we going to find out like what is going on? And again, just it's all building up.
Yeah.
So
And what
then,
is this discount? Because they offered a discount, but I think me and you both were like, this better be a really good
right. Well,
discount.
I kind of was doing some of the math, and I was like, even if you did it of just like the tier that we got in, so this won't be true of everyone's, but I think our tier that we got in for the pre-sale, I think was 600 for the three
Right.
day
For the three
for
day. Yeah.
VIP. Even if you did VIP and you say, okay, well, that's 200 a day. Are they going to make me do another 200 and to get the same, pre-sale discount? I was like, yeah, I wonder if that's what they're thinking, because I think you text that the single day for a VIP was 280 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it would have been
$279.
that would have been an $80 discount, but $200 still doesn't feel good, right? When I was kind of just, what could this? I was just trying to guess what the discount could be, and then the news comes down, what everyone was waiting for. They did the right thing, right? We talked about that last episode. Would they do the right thing? Thankfully, they did, and they decided 4 day was, if you purchased the 3 day pre-sale, you would be now given the fourth day.
Grandfathered in. Yes.
Yes. So they did the right thing.
They,
So now relief, right? I think everyone's like, finally, thank you, right? It should have been that way from the beginning, right? I think is what people were then saying after that. But I just want to say, shout out to the people collectively, right? Like you and I included, and all the people, the comments that we were reading, all the people who voiced really their opinion, their concern, their anger, right? Whatever it was. Um, I feel like after that news came, I think a lot of it was relief for everyone, because they're like, okay, we were heard, right? I feel seen,
yeah.
I feel heard. They took some action, seems like accordingly, because this was not their original plan if they originally announced a discount, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The community was heard, like you said, and action was taken. Again, I think that, and clearly they were listening, right? They were paying attention. They were seeing the negative press and what was happening. The community was not happy. And I'm sure there was more beyond like what we see. I'm sure there was a lot of angry emails and
Sure,
calls and maybe from even pressure from the artists who are now associated with such a kind
sure.
of a blunder of a rollout. And
Especially if
listen,
you're a Monday artist, right?
yeah, like come on, man. And I mean, who knows? Like maybe Monday ticket sales were just so bad
That's another
um,
factor, yeah.
in protest. Maybe I don't know.
Possibly. All
Possibly,
possible, yeah. I mean, all things that, again, I think just circle back to, uh when I first talked to you about it, I was like, the power to the people, right? I mean, I think there was some impact from everyone, collectively rallying around this injustice, right? To some extent, right? Like people just didn't feel good about it. You know what I mean?
Right, right. And totally, hey, and listen, for all those out there who are like, hey, this is a business, and I totally get it, right? It is a business. Adding on a fourth day, there's costs associated with that. Totally get it. But for the people who pre-purchased, we thought we were buying the full package. That's what we bought. And
Right.
so, hey, next year, I know if you're going to do 4 days, fine, I got it. Like, and I'm probably in.
Sure, sure. Right. Exactly. All right, man. Well, that it just makes me think, and I'll kind of throw this in there. Anyone who maybe listened to the Spotify version of Club Lights podcast that we've kind of alluded to a couple of times, knows that something I like to do is like I'm trying to be a very positive person, right? Like I think we've all gone through our tough times in life. I'm no exception to that. I try to live with as much positivity in my life as possible now. And something I
Powerful.
like to do from time to time, and especially within the Club Lights podcast, is kind of bring out some words to live by, which usually are just short sayings or maybe a short quote from someone that I think has a lot of weight to it, a lot of power to it. And this whole scenario of the people and their voices being heard made me want to kind of look at what are some notable quotes around this concept. And one that I found that I'll share with everyone and we can talk about a little bit. Usually I save this for the end of the episode, but we'll throw it in here and then react to it this time. um, this is a quote from Margaret Wheatley, who's an American author, teacher, speaker, and management consultant. And so a quote that's attributed to her is, "There is no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about." I'll say that one more time. There is no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about. And I just thought that was kind of summarizes it, right? Like people
Yeah.
cared about this. Obviously, it was impactful for many people to feel like they wanted to voice their opinion. And honestly, I think people were really they were thinking through the concerns in most of the cases. Like the quotes we pulled out, I think were ones where, yeah, people are putting some thought into how they really feel about this. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there, some words to live by. But I think it just reinforces the power, that a community has to. There were decision makers, obviously, that it seems like you said, there were probably a few factors, but I think this was definitely one that weighed heavy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the power of a community to come together, especially in the world we're living in, where things can feel almost so disconnected. We're just all in these screens and whatnot. And at the end of the day, like using it for good, voicing your opinion, empathizing with those who have to travel to Chicago. And I mean, just these decisions had these widespread effects. And
Right.
so for all of us to come together and say, hey, this isn't right. You guys got to figure this out. And thankfully, which this doesn't always happen, guy. Like this doesn't always
Right.
happen, right?
Exactly.
Where like
They
a
didn't have to
company
do this.
does the right thing. So props to you for doing the right thing,
Right.
right? You didn't have to. You could have just said whatever, and tread
And
forward.
we've
And
seen we've seen maybe similar things like that happen before with people, the decision makers, right? They
yeah,
make that decision. It's their business, right? Obviously, there's ramifications to those decisions, but they didn't have to do this. And
they
and
didn't
I'm
have to,
glad they did the
right?
right thing. Like we said, it is the right thing, I think.
Yeah. Well, and listen too, like listen, EDM music, it's growing in popularity. There's more festivals coming out. People have choices, right? The community has choices. And so if you want to stay a top tier festival, if you want to continue to grow and expand your influence, um, hey, it was only 1,000 comments on Reddit, but those are 1,000 people who are going to be, consistently either singing your praises or trolling you. And
Right. Right.
but
And you don't want to get a bad reputation, right? This was, I think, something that was creating a splash. And so yeah, I think I think it resolved it in the right way, but yeah, I think now, something I'll throw in there too that I've been thinking. Uh, I don't know that this is our only list of demands.
Hmm.
Was this one right? Because people, there's also other things around. Hey, open the gates on time.
Oh gosh,
Right?
please.
Like that's been an issue in the past, especially last year. It was not great. I can't even remember. Was it over an hour or I can't
It was an
remember.
hour, over an hour delay, right? We're all just
So
standing in line.
so next on our list of demands,
Yeah,
open the
yeah.
gates on
Even
time.
the line organization outside was because it wasn't supposed to be that way, right? You're supposed to open at the right time, so you don't
Yeah.
have to have this big crowd of people who are like getting in trap. I mean, it was a mess,
Yeah,
right? And
we'll put it out there when we post this podcast, and we'll see what the people think. Like those were we can cross one thing off the list. What's the next? What other things do we think we have some feelings about?
yeah, I would love to
I
know,
know.
yeah, from people, put something in the comments, right? Like I want to
Yeah,
know
let
what
us
you
know
guys are concerned, right? Because
what
I
else
think we should talk about it.
what
Yeah.
else is on the list. One thing I know that's on the list. We'll tee this up for. We'll wrap this episode up here soon, but we'll tee it up for the next time. The Elro stage. We were going through that release of the lineup and kind of top to bottom. And once we got to the day 4, that's what it was, right? That's what, like you said, that's what everyone was talking about. We didn't even get to the bottom where we're reminded here that Elro will no longer be involved. So we'll talk about that more on the next episode. But I know, Elro, it's the art, it's the immersive experience at that stage, which to me was cool.
So
We'll see.
special.
Yeah, we'll see
Yeah.
what this new one is. But I know, you and I spend a lot of time there generally.
Yeah, I would say we probably spent about 20 to 30% of our time at Elro. And like you said, just that full
Maybe more
immersive
than that. I
experience.
think more than that.
Yeah,
I think so.
possibly. Yeah,
Maybe 40%.
definitely. Um, the art, I will say though that I did have some issues with Elro. And again, like I don't think it's has anything to do with them, like Elro, but I think the production and the sound that was set up for the
Sure.
Elro stage. I distinctly remember going to like kind of like the middle area, and the bass was so. And I'm wearing earplugs, right? I'm like I'm conscious of like my my ears. I don't want to damage them. I want to enjoy the music. But
Right.
there was a inflection point in that there where the bass was just
It was too
unbearable,
much.
right?
It
Yeah,
wasn't balanced, right? It didn't
it was
sound
not
good.
balanced,
Right.
and you could
And I
tell that people were like not there. Like they were
Well, I think you had mentioned too, during the festival, you had noticed that for sure, and then again on Reddit, people were talking about it.
right. Yeah. So wasn't a great experience. Unfortunately, they went all 3 days, just pounding that.
Yeah,
And so hopefully that is
yeah.
also taken
That,
into consideration.
that
So
that's
please,
another one on the list of demands, I think.
golly,
And we'll see what happens. Like I said, I have an open mind. Obviously, someone else is going to be designing this stage. Some group of people, creative people. I'm sure. I'm sure it will be something interesting. We'll see what it comes out as. But who knows? Maybe next year, on the list of demands will be bring back Elro. But we'll see what it goes. I have an open mind to it. I will miss it though because I know I've always had it's just a fun time at that stage,
it's
and
a great
I
time.
appreciate, I think, all of the work that it takes to put in, with that immersive experience that they create there, and it is a lot of fun. So I will miss it. But we'll talk about, kind of get into some of the history of Elro and what that's all about in the next episode, because I
Yeah,
think
look forward to it.
it was something that I know I had to learn about, as I was just exposed to it at ARC. But it
Yeah.
is it is a worldwide kind of thing, for anyone that doesn't know. But that'll be the teaser for next conversation. All right, buddy. Well, Dan, it was great talking to you again. Anything else for this time around?
No, I'm again. I think that things kind of are we're in a good spot now, right?
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. Now, for all of us out there who booked flights and booked hotels and all that. We got a task ahead of us to rearrange um, our
Right.
plans for ARC. But other than that, man, no, I'm feeling great. And thank you, and looking forward to continuing our conversation. It's gonna be
All
good.
right, man. Well, hey, big thanks to everyone who has shared the first part of this episode and watched. We kind of kicked it off impromptu, but when this news of ARC came out, we thought this would be a great way to start things off. Um, so coming up next, though, we are gonna do. We talked about this in the first episode about doing a continuous mix. So I think to celebrate really the outcome of this day 4 being comped into the pre-sale passes. We're going to throw a continuous mix at you. So this one is one that I created. I mentioned kind of going through some tough times in life, as we all do. This one was really my first demo mix that I recorded after coming back from kind of a hiatus from live DJing performances. So this one was something that was really, I think, my first step in getting back into it. So this mix is called "Get Back" on that note, and we will tack it on here to the end of the podcast. So let us know your thoughts on the mix as well. But no better way, I think, to celebrate this 4th day ticket resolution, I think, in the way that we were all hoping for, than a continuous mix of some house music. So
Let's
so
go.
we'll
Let's
kick that one off
go.
next. But as always, in your life, keep making progress. Dan, once again, thank you very much for your thoughts, and we'll talk to you all next time.
Okay. See you guys.
Thinking that you're changed on me, I got it wrong. Thinking that you're way for me, and all along I said I wanna break, so why am I in your arms, in your arms, in your arms? Even when my heart is black and blue, I keep running back. Even when my heart is black and blue, I keep running back. Even when my heart is black and blue, I keep running back to you. I keep running back to you. I keep running back. Even when my heart is black and blue, I keep running back. Even when my heart is black and blue, I keep running back. Even when my heart is black and blue, I keep running back to you. I keep running back to you. I keep running. Is it fun for you? Slipping on my trust the way you always do. You don't even notice what is love to you. Something that we share or that you put me through. You put me through. On and on, thinking that you're changed for me, I got it wrong. Thinking that you're way for me, and all along I said I wouldn't break, so why am I in your arms, in your arms, in your arms? Even when my heart is black and blue, I keep running back. Even when my heart is black and blue, I keep running back. Even when my heart is black and blue, I keep running back to you. I keep running back to you. I keep running back. Your love won't let me just buy and drink and smoke. You'll go broke. Just give it away, 'cause you know you can't take it to the grave. I say, hey, when you're holding on to too many keys, that's just great. Keep making that sound, round and dancing wild, go round and round and round and round. So fast, it won't last. Just give it away, 'cause you know you can't take it to the grave. Say hey, when you're holding on to too many keys, that's just great. Keep making that sound, round and dancing wild, go round and round and round and round.
Snapchat, no duck face. Snapchat that fat ass, don't Snapchat, no duck face. Snapchat that fat ass, don't Snapchat, no duck face. Snapchat that fat ass, don't Snapchat, no duck face. Face, 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 face,
about to go manzo.
Don't Snapchat, no duck face. Snapchat that fat ass, don't Snapchat, no duck face. Face, 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 Snapchat that fat ass, don't Snapchat, no duck face. Snapchat that fat ass, that fat ass, that fat ass. Snapchat that fat ass, don't Snapchat, no duck face. Snapchat that fat ass, that fat ass, that fat ass. Don't Snapchat, no duck face. Back to that. Rap roll ups. Back to that. Rap roll ups. Back to that. 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 Back to that.